Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. I'm your girl, Princess Leah 888, and welcome to our all signs reading for the month of March. We are going to be joining the 3-3 portal today, the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, for the signs Gemini, Cancer, and Leo. I'm going to be time stamping, so if you ever want to tune back later, you can check the comments below after this live. But let's go ahead and get started, shall we? It is our Tea and Tarot Tuesday, all signs reading. So I've got my delicious tea activating purpose by Numi. This is a mixture of my mango ginger yerba mate as well as a relaxed Damiana with a butterfly pea leaf and lavender. It is really, really relaxing. So, got my Palo Santo, and we are going to get into the tarot, the energy for the signs Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, and messages from Spirit for the month of March, to see just some positive guidance, some energy, that what is happening in the collective for this collective. It's a lot going on in the collective, in the world, and so I hope you are drinking your relaxed tea. Let me get you, I didn't even take a sip. Cheers. Let me get you get whatever you need to get to relax, and we're just gonna get into this tea right now. Okay, cheers. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am an intuitive artist and healer. My mission is to do the best I can to heal the heart of the divine masculine and the sacred feminine through conscious love. So all of my messages are channeled messages from Spirit in the intentions to pull from the highest frequencies for the unfolding and expansion of conscious love. We have been given so many other ways to love: conditional love, transactional love, codependent love. But what is conscious love? I believe that I have always been a student of love, understanding it, understanding how you give it, get it, receive it. And to me, love is a frequency. Love is the essence of who we are. Love is the gracious, omnipresent, divine, God. So I hope you can hear me. I'm going to move my camera just a little bit because I have some issues with my mic, and I've been playing around with it, hoping that this Mercury retrograde is not going to mess up your girl's video tonight, and so that you can hear me and not have this background static that I've been having, so you can really hear the messages that may or may not be for you or for a collective that you may be cross-watching for. Remember to keep in mind, we all have feminine and masculine energies. That means to listen to these messages, not just for the divine feminine that you may be cross-watching for, or the divine masculine you might be listening in for, but to see how it resonates within yourself as your feminine creative, feminine sensuality, feminine emotions, the feminine non-physical, and the masculine physical manifested into fruition, and how that works for you. But don't force anything if it does not resonate. If it's not for you, it's not for you. Just take what you need and let the rest be for someone else, okay? All right. So let's get started, shall we? For Gemini, Divine Feminine, the deck I'm using for the Divine Feminine is the Modern Goddess Tarot. And look, right on out the gates for the month of March, we have the Sun, beautiful Gemini, Divine Feminine. This is some truth that you are moving into. You are, I just saw the Magician as well. Gemini, Divine Feminine. Ooh, let me get my timestamp. Sorry, I already said I was going to timestamp. Divine Feminine with that Sun card, you are tapping into your bliss, your joy, your truth, your authenticity, your goldenness. That's what you are feeling. Thank you. This one flying out here, beautiful, 9 of Pentacles. Okay, this picture here, the energy that I pick up with the tarot, this is not to predict, this is to pull from the highest frequencies. And I'm seeing the number 222, which is divine alignment. And today is the 3-3 portal. And that number to me is very significant. 555 on the clock. Look at all these angel numbers coming up for you, Gemini. You are also the twins. So that mirroring makes sense of these angel numbers 3-3, 222, 555, because this is about divine, what I'm hearing, radical alignment, radical expansion through grace, radical grace, radical abundance and alignment, partnership, and interdependence. That's what this 9 of Pentacles is about. With the bottom of the deck, you have the 7 of Pentacles, which means you have been patiently waiting. I'm hearing this song from as I am a performing artist as well, I channel music, and so in these channels, messages, if there are lyrics that you know that might resonate with you, but I'm hearing, I'm patiently waiting for the right time when I will find true love with the right guy. All right, this is from, you may not know that song. But that is actually from a show, a musical that I was in since I was 7 years old until I was 12, called Worth Waiting For. And yes, that song was called I'm Worth Waiting For. All right? True love I'll know I'll find. His love will be right on time. Listen, you have the 4 of Wands underneath that, Divine Feminine Gemini. So if you are waiting patiently for this union, for the right guy or gal, because energy is not gender based, so feminine is not based on your gender. You have been patiently waiting, patiently watering, nurturing what you need to nurture. The plants have to be nurtured and watered and given enough sunlight in order for it to grow, but that doesn't mean it's going to grow overnight. And sometimes we can get a little impatient waiting. But what I'm hearing for you, Divine Feminine, because you have the 4 of Swords underneath that, you have truly been patiently waiting. Especially 444 is what I'm seeing. You've been waiting for this 1111, gates to heaven, this divine alignment, this union. And what you've been doing is also, what you don't see is at the bottom of the deck. What you don't see for the month of March, Divine Feminine, is that this retrograde energy, Mercury's in retrograde through the sign of Pisces, and it's extended in Pisces for about 60 days, which means the majority of March, Mercury's going to be in retrograde, which is this 4 of Swords energy, which means to go within and reflect on what you have been watering in this union, how you have been nurturing what it is that you have been patiently waiting for. Hope that makes sense, because this is the strongest energy, this 9 of Pentacles. What I'm hearing is you're learning interdependence. You're learning how to fill your own stability, to be your own stability, to need, or I'm hearing to nurture everything that you need for yourself so that you can receive the incoming love. I'm also hearing regulation, nervous system regulation, and that's what this feels like with this energy, with the 4 of Wands, or I'm sorry, with the 4 of Swords and the 7 of Pentacles. We're learning to trust the process. you see how she's also with child. So Gemini, Divine Feminine, you might also be with child, perhaps. If not, you are fertile for it, if that is something that you are wanting. And if not, just be mindful. Because you see how, look, it's almost like she's inside resting, reflecting, meditating. That's what retrograde season is for. Reflection, review, reconsideration, recalibration, and reunion is what I'm hearing too, and reconciliation. Really beautiful, Divine Feminine. I hope that's a very, very beautiful message. And it's very empowering. You're learning how to enjoy yourself, your journey. You're learning how to trust the process of growth, of birth, of, the baby. Same thing with the baby as with plants. You can't rush a baby to hurry up and grow in your belly, right? You cannot. And you can't get mad at it because it's not coming fast enough, right? You have to, but that doesn't mean you just ignore it. I'm hearing for someone, the idea of not watering your plant because it's not coming fast enough. This is a metaphor, okay? Not watering your plant, and then because it's not coming fast enough, and then leaving it, detaching from it. This could be a relationship, this could be a job, this could be a dream. This is something that you are building in the earth with the pentacles. That is physical, material, fruition energy that you want to bring into this realm. Using your masculine, that's that balance with the Four of Pentacles, also merging the Divine Feminine and masculine balance, taking your ideas and creating what it is that you are dreaming of. But what happens, Divine Feminine, Gemini, is that what I'm hearing is what happens sometimes for you is that you get very, very excited, but then if it's not coming fast enough, you give up too soon. And what happens is if you give up on the plant because it's not growing fast enough, and you just don't water it at all, and then you come back and it's dead, you get mad, right? Like, don't be mad, right? That's what Spirit's like. That's the energy we're trying to get you out of, Divine Feminine Gemini, is not to lose hope so fast when things are not looking or perceiving or growing at the pace that you would like for it to go. And not to neglect or abandon that dream or that love or that relationship just because it's not moving at the pace. And wherever Gemini's in your chart, sun, moon, rising, stellium, wherever, we all have a third house. And I'm hearing, though, think about the times that maybe you have detached or abandoned or neglected a dream or a relationship or a situation, and then wondered why it's not flourishing the way that you want it. And it's because you can't expect a plant to grow if you do not water it. And you cannot rush a baby to be born. So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to move into the Divine Masculine, Gemini. If any of this does resonate for you, Divine Feminine, Gemini, make sure you hit that like button and let any other Geminis that are maybe needing to look into this message as well. And if you're not already a part of my Vibe Tribe, definitely subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can know whenever I'm going live, so we can all continue to be in the movement of healing the heart of the Divine Masculine and the Sacred Feminine for the soul of mankind through conscious love. Beautiful, Gemini. Look at that. Speaking of which, you are also coming into this beautiful, harmonious, happily ever after. That is your biggest energy that you are wanting to flourish into and to bring into this month of March. I love this 3-3 portal. This is called communication, co-creation. Look, you got the 6 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. 3 of them want to come out, but I'm going to just take one, but I'm going to see what these others are. Really beautiful. 10 of Cups, Gemini, the Hanged One, and the Lovers. Okay? So Divine Masculine, there is, okay, this is retrograde energy, some more of the 6 of Cups of nostalgia. So you may be going down memory lane of, you know, happy memories, sweet memories, of things that have brought you joy, of a lover, past life lover, or a previous life lover that you are now looking at a different perspective with the Hanged One. And I love how the Lovers is 6 and the Hanged One is 12, because it's kind of also like the doubling. It's like you are, and the 6 of Cups. So it's like you are doubling your, how am I trying to say this, Lord? I said, Lord, help me, Lord. Lord, Spirit, God, Jah, Allah, however you want to call it. It's all the frequency of this gracious, omnipresent, divine. But what I'm seeing is this, like this doubling. Maybe you're trying to double your chances, is what I'm maybe trying to hear. But there's definitely something in that. Yeah. So 5 is something I'm also seeing here. That is of change, of expansion. But Divine Masculine, Gemini, there is definitely retrograde energy. You may be just being kind of pulled back to the past to reflect in a different perspective I'm hearing what true love is and what true love is not. And you might be recognizing, because you have the 5 of Wands underneath that, and I saw the 5 of Wands for the Divine Feminine, but I didn't bring it up. And the 5 of, look at all this, 555. I can't ignore it. 5 of Wands, the Hierophant, which is the 5th Arcana, and also the original Divine Masculine, and the 5 of Swords. So it's like you're going through your, you know, shifting your perspective, looking at different perspectives of how you have learned about love, how you have learned about what is true divine love, and you know, how have I been showing up. And this month you may be feeling like you are battling or fighting for a love, maybe competing or having to feel like you have to prove. And maybe that's what you're also wanting to release, is having to prove. Or maybe you are actually straight up battling for a soul connection that is something that is bringing you lots of nostalgia. The Hierophant is about blessings. The Hierophant is also about contracts. It's about tradition. It's about, you know, I'm hearing you are cutting out with these 5 of Wands and 5 of Swords. You're cutting out, you're looking back, you're reflecting on the past relationships of your life, and cutting out all of the unhealthy habits, the toxic patterns, the things that, and also realizing the soul contracts, reflecting on the soul contracts that have now expired, the soul contracts that have now reached its end of its purpose and journey, and you can now release those soul contracts so you can move into that 10 of Cups that we saw initially. So that's what I'm seeing with that. You don't have to prove anything. There is strength and the Chariot underneath here, Divine Feminine or Divine Masculine, Gemini. Okay, you're learning how to stand strong and listen to divine timing, listen to divine calling, and learning how to, again, cut out what is not healthy and let go of the ties and connections that have now reached their end. Okay, I hope that makes sense, Divine Masculine, Gemini. We're going to move into what Spirit has to say for the Gemini Collective. I hope that helps. If it did, if it resonated with you, Divine Masculine, definitely hit that like button. All right, Spirit, what do you have to say, kind of guidance for the Divine Collective here for Gemini? Two of Cups. So there's a lot of, I think, a lot of emotional feels. Now, we did open up this conversation, this Tea+Tarot all signs reading under the, presence and energy of conscious love. And so with this Two of Cups, that energy is still here. Spirit is saying Gemini, by the way, is considered the lovers of the tarot, or that's the associated sign, because you are the twins, and the twins that reflect each other, of duality, of the yin, the yang, the divine, the feminine, the masculine, the light and the shadow. And the Two of Cups is also giving that kind of energy of seeing the two sides of a rainbow, learning how to go with the flow and to allow it to move you instead of trying to swim upstream, is what I'm hearing. Trying to go against the current instead of just being in this current moment. You hear what I'm saying? Yes, because you got the Akashic records that are being tapped into right now. You are awakening. There's something awakening. That's what that Six of Cups energy was for Divine Masculine. I'm trying to get it from being so blurry. Sorry. So you can't really see the words because they're kind of blurry. But the Akashic records is coming up. That is the wisdom. That's why this Hanged Man is coming up. That's why the lovers of this what I'm hearing, this ordained partnership is coming up, because you're coming into some soul wisdom. The Chariot coming through again. You're coming into some soul wisdom here that is really making you look at how you have been trusting in divine, and how you have moved through unsettling, uncertain, foggy energy. Are you trusting, or are you stopping because you can't see? But this is also about the Six of Swords, moving to calmer waters, waiting for dust to settle so that you can move out of, dodge, and it's the Six of Swords is after the Five of Swords, after the battle, waiting for whatever has erupted or is battling that you're going through. And this can be in your own personal life, Gemini, or just with the collective chaos that is happening outside of us that we cannot control. But all we can do is control and temper and regulate our nervous system, because that helps transmute and alchemize. The Temperance card is about alchemizing and balancing, tempering, and that I'm hearing that dual conflict that the Gemini energy can have, a very, very back and forth, energy of. That's why some people try to, dog on, diss on my Geminis. But listen, Geminis, you are just a reflection of all of the duality that is in life, light and shadow. The extremes sometimes can be a little much. And right now we're in some extreme times. And so what we're asking, Spirit, what Spirit is asking, and I love how I said we, because I feel like I'm like a part of this little social chat for you right now, BFF Princess Leah. But I'm hearing that this is the time to learn to not get so caught up in the chaos around, and look at the perspectives of all different kinds of truths, and tap into the soul wisdom, the Akashic records, the soul wisdom of ancient wisdom within you, so that it might be able to help ground you and stabilize you. You might also be bringing some past life. If you believe in past life, there might be some generational karmic endings. That's where that Hierophant is saying it's time. Some contracts are just expired, and it's time to let them go. But learn from it. so that you can move into the next phase of your life in, with least resistance to flow down the stream of the current. So your tea formation, Gemini, because this is Tea and Tarot Tuesday still, you are going to, I'm going to pull, this is actually a fortune cookie. So you get a fortune cookie, Gemini. And your tea formation for the month of March is your coworkers take pleasure in your great sense of creativity. Okay. Be creative right now, Gemini, is what I'm hearing. And as you are patiently waiting, as you are patiently manifesting, as you are patiently learning from all of life's blessings, beauties, benefits, have grace and compassion for all the things that you're learning about yourself, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you'll be all right, all right? So I hope that helps, Gemini. Let's carry on to Cancer. All right. That was a bit long, but that's okay. We are here for it. So Divine Feminine, Cancer. Divine Feminine, Cancer. The Cancer Divine Feminine Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Stellium, North Node, South Node, wherever it is in your chart. Cancer governs the 4th house of your home, family, past. Cancer, you have the Crone of Swords, Divine Feminine, here in reverse. So maybe there is some decisions that you are still holding on to or not quite sure of. Let's see, with the strongest energy for you, Cancer, for the month of March. What that means of that Crone of Swords. What decisions that are you not really sure about? The decisions of breaking cycles, generational cycles, I'm hearing, of trauma, of poverty, okay, of lack mentality, of scarcity, of fear. That's what's holding you back. I'm hearing that you are currently breaking these chains of the lower versions of you, Divine Feminine, the lower versions of you, the outdated, toxic versions of you, Cancer. And that, in doing so, is making it a little bit, hard for you to speak your truth. You see how my throat got choked up trying to say that? To speak your truth, to express your full, authentic truth. And the Crone of Wands showing up, the Crones are like the kings, but because this is the modern goddess tarot, it is crone. It's not the king. So the crone, both the crones are coming out, aka the kings of wands. And this is of look, she's reflecting back. She's reflecting on back in her journey of the chains that she has broken. What you are thinking about right now with this Mercury in retrograde energy is reflecting on what change, what cycles are you breaking and have you broken. And when you, at the end of your day, is what I'm hearing, want to look back in your life and ask yourself, what did I balance? What did I change? What did I do? What did I contribute? How did I contribute to breaking cycles of poverty, of lack, of fear, of trauma? How did I contribute? She's looking at like the storybook has closed. And the temperance, the balance, the alchemy, learning to transmute all of the past. And this isn't even about how old you are. This is about right now. What you have learned in your life right now, whether you're 20 or 33 or 86. Looking at how you have balanced and how you can balance and temper and integrate what you have learned in the past and integrate the cycles of pain without recycling it into your future. Because there is a book that has ended, and that is Aries. That is the Aries energy of Neptune and Saturn moving into Aries, clearing out, closing out a 30-year cycle with Saturn and a 160-year cycle with Neptune. That is ancient generations of cycles that are being closed, ended, completed, that are being now transmuted and integrated for this new book, a new era. You get to write this new story. So I'm hearing with this Two of Swords underneath, you're learning to walk by faith and not by sight. You're learning how to not close your heart off because of the perils and the dangers outside of you that you can or cannot see. You're learning how to regulate your nervous system so that even if you cannot see what is in front of you, even if you cannot see what is to come, you can still remain balanced. You can still remain in a love-based faith. I have been given a aha download about faith. And I'm not talking about the religion faith or religious aspects. I'm talking about faith in the true, pure definition of believing something so much that you do not have to see it in order for you to know it's true. With this Two of Swords, her blindfold, she has to trust her intuition to make a decision, to trust if she is going, when she or if she's ever going to be attacked, because she cannot see, she can only feel. This is about walking by faith. And there is a difference between, I'm hearing and I have learned, this is what I'm learning about this faith, word faith, is you can have faith in something that's rooted in fear. And you can have faith in something that's rooted in love. Which one do you choose? Because that is up to you. You can choose to live. And I had to, Spirit had to tell me this myself, because I was falling into fear-based faith. Making all these assumptions, creating all these worst-case scenarios about things that I could not see. But because my nervous system was not regulated, because of generations of trauma that I am breaking, I had to learn. I had to realize that I am doing this out of protection, but is it really protecting me now? Or is it just stifling and sabotaging something that I really want? So if you find yourself doing this in your relationships, if you find yourself doing this in your dreams and careers and your passions, ask yourself, am I coming from a love-based faith? Because you can do the same thing when you're doing the worst case scenarios and spiraling and having that anxiety swirl, or you can shift it and say, I believe that this will work out. I believe that everything is working out for my greatest and highest good. So hard that I don't even have to see it to believe that it's true. You can do the same thing in that direction as we do in the direction of fear. Okay? So that's what's being washed away. That's what's being cleared. The energy is being cleared for you, Divine Feminine, Cancer. I hope that helps. It's really beautiful. You are making some really big, beautiful strides. You are breaking some big chains here. Breaking some chains, okay? Learning how to hone in that. I'm hearing that dark feminine energy, the parts of our feminine energy that is not so pleasant to feel, the rage, the anger, and learning how to balance and integrate that from our past of things that have been done to us, or maybe even pains and hurts that we have done unto others that are awakening too, and learning how to forgive and sit in that with loving compassion and radically accept what has happened, integrating the shadows. Not saying that what happened was okay, but radically accepting that it did happen, and that who I am now is a result of what happened, but it does not define who I am. And I don't have to correlate or identify with what has happened to me. I don't have to identify with these chains. I don't have to identify with this rage or this resentment or this blame or this shame. That is not who I am. I don't have to identify with the dysregulated nervous system and the fears and insecurities that have been built from that, because I'm clearing that, because it's being cleared for me by divine. And I choose to trust. That is what you can do, Cancer, Divine Feminine. I hope that helps. Really beautiful. And, you know, I think that's why it was resonating with me, because I'm a Cancer rising. So I received that message for me too. Thank you, Spirit. That was a really big aha moment for me that shifted my perspective in so many ways just over the last week. And sometimes it only takes one shift in thought to completely change the trajectory of how you want to move, how the rest of the energy of your direction moves. Your mind doesn't get to control you. Okay, you have control over your mind. And when you notice that the chatter's coming in, Cancer, Divine Feminine, when you notice that the fear is coming up, you get to shift. You get to be aware. That is the consciousness. And this is where conscious love comes into, because you get to be aware and conscious of what is happening in your mind first. And you get to shift it to choose love or choose fear. It's not always easy, and it doesn't mean as soon as if you're feeling angry and hatred, that you just jump into love and happiness and harmony. No, it's not like that. It's about moving in that direction. And I've been listening to a lot of Abraham Hicks. I just love their message, and it's been helping me a lot with learning to shift and move in the direction of a higher frequency, of the frequency of conscious love, of the frequency of our gracious, omnipresent, divine source that we are always connected to. It's just a matter if we are in alignment with that or out of alignment with that. When we feel really icky and angry and sad or icky feelings, we are out of alignment with that gracious, omnipresent, divine love. And what we need to do to balance, to temper, is to think thoughts that are a little bit closer. First of all, you need to recognize where you're at. Recognize that what I'm feeling right now is XYZ. Acknowledge it with loving compassion, not with shame, not with resentment, but to say, I acknowledge that I feel this way right now. I acknowledge that this is what's coming up right now, and I want to feel better. Even just saying I want to feel better is leading in a better direction. It leads into a better energy feeling direction, and that moves you one step closer. It's not going to be all the way, but then you can take another step. I want to trust that everything's working out for my highest and greatest good. I want to believe that I am always expanding and always learning, and so I can't get it wrong. I want to trust that I'm not doing it wrong. I want to. Just wanting to is better than not wanting to. Wanting to puts out a signal to universe to say, okay, well, let's meet you. Let's see how we can get you here. Let's see how we can get you in alignment with that. Okay? All right. Divine Masculine, Cancer. We have the Emperor coming up. That's strong energy, Divine Masculine energy of leadership, Yeah, wants to stay out. And the Wheel of Fortune, some strong major arcana that's happening right now for the month of March, Cancer, Divine Masculine. So, this is you. The wheels, what I'm seeing with this is the wheel. Ooh, look at this. The wheels are turning in your favor to step into your leadership, to step into your empowerment, empire, emperor. You may be a boss. You may be a father. You may own your own company or business, or maybe starting it. But this month of March is giving you strong energy to move in that direction. Now, here's the thing. It is still Mercury retrograde. So don't be making all these long-term decisions right now. Don't be signing any contracts right now. And that also goes back to the Gemini and Divine Masculine with that Hierophant, you know. Don't make any rash decisions, big decisions, life-changing decisions right now during a Mercury retrograde. What you want to be doing is tapping into your High Priestess here and tuning into your higher self, tuning into your guides to help you with the wheel that is turning in your favor. This is, look at this, strong, powerful divine feminine, divine masculine energy. The High Priestess is the original divine feminine, just like the Hierophant is the original divine masculine. That's why it's the number 2. It's the second major arcana in the major arcanas. It's the first divine feminine card. And that's why it is feminine energy, which is non-physical. Feminine energy, which is the closest to source creation, because we are a direct, vessel, embodied of the gracious, omnipresent divine. And so that's why right now what you want to do, this is why the Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess is here at the bottom of the deck, because what you don't see is that you are reflecting. You need to reflect. You need to tap into that higher divine feminine, the higher energy, the higher guides. Listen to the intuition. That means your intuition, okay? That's what this guidance means of this feminine energy. The ancient soul wisdom is what I'm hearing. The High Priestess. And I'm also hearing tap into, again, your faith. Going back to that fear-based versus love-based faith. Trusting that everything is turning in your favor for your greatest and highest good, Cancer, Divine Masculine. So whatever choices, whatever, choice you are making, the world is in your hands. Literally, the world. Look at that. I can't make it up. Literally, the world is in your hands. Divine Masculine, Cancer. To change, to end. The world is the last major arcana. It is to end a whole cycle, a whole chapter, a whole story, a whole movie, a whole book. It's not the next chapter is what I'm hearing. Correction. It is the end of a book. It is time for the sequel. Okay? What are you writing? How are you going to choose? Are you going to choose love-based? Or are you going to choose fear-based? Because what you choose right now is how it can shift. That will shift the trajectory. That is what will lead you into the trajectory of what is turning in your favor. But remember, don't pressure yourself, because you can't get it wrong, Divine Masculine. Cancer. You can't get it wrong, because you are never getting it done, as Abraham Hicks says, because we're constantly always unfolding. Okay. Let yourself walk away. What you don't see is the month of March may have you walking away from things that are no longer emotionally serving you anymore. The Judgment card, 44:44 on the clock. The Judgment card is out here asking you, because you are reflecting. Again, remember, you are reflecting and seeing, how am I dying to my ego and rising as this phoenix? Because remember, the strongest energy for you, Divine Masculine Cancer, is the Emperor for the month of March. You are rising into your divinity. You are rising into your true Divine Masculine. And if you are not a Divine Masculine that is watching, if you're not a Divine Masculine Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, wherever Cancer's in your chart, and maybe you're listening for a Divine Masculine, if you are a Cancer Feminine listening, your masculine is rising into his Divine Masculine by learning how to trust in the wisdom of his or hers Divine Feminine. Learning how to connect. And I'm also even hearing you both connecting with in the spiritual realm, in the 5D, if you know what I'm talking about when I say that. Talking to each other's higher self, higher soul. And that could literally actually be like telepathy, having conversations from across the state, or or like this Divine Masculine, maybe you're having conversations from across the world, just having thoughts. Literally, is so tuned in right now because Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon is of your intuitions and your emotional state. Literally just today, I made a thought that said, I am sending you so much love to my beloved. And within, literally, I didn't even finish the thought, my beloved was calling. That's how tuned in, tapped in that this energy is right now for you, Cancer collective. It's really, really powerful. Not to mention, again, this full moon that we're under right now, this full moon in Virgo, the Earth Mother, grounding. Look, the Earth Mother. You might have Virgo in your chart, but if not, that's okay, Cancer. We are in this full moon eclipse in Virgo, closing out cycles, walking away from things that are not serving us so that we can walk into this brand new wheel of fortune, this brand new world. So we can trust, trust in our earth, what we are earthing is what I'm hearing, what we are grounding, what we are planting now. Really, really beautiful energy. And I am all here for it. So let's move on to what Spirit has to say for the Cancer Collective. Thank you for everyone who's tuning in. I trust that the messages that are being caught by whoever is hearing is needing to hear these messages. And if you haven't already done so, on your way in or out, make sure you hit that like button. And you're always welcome to be a part of my Vibe Tribe. Wow, we have the Four of Wands with you, Cancer, Divine Cancer, masculine and feminine. The Four of Wands, that is the merging. Again, that's going back to the merging, the union of your higher self. The merging of you. I'm hearing the merging of your soul self and your human vessel are now merging so that the higher self, look at that, so the higher self of you can now integrate into your human vessel. That's why you got to walk away from the things. That's why we're breaking generational cycles and walking away from things that are no longer serving us. The Page of Cups at the bottom of the deck, what you don't see. Again, Two of Wands as well. Tap into that innocent emotion. I'm hearing that innocent emotion, that innocent childlike emotions of what you have, that purity of that love that you have within you. That purity of that love that you've had as a child even. What emotionally stirred you when you were a child in a good way? So that you can merge. So you can merge and integrate all of that into this current moment. Shifting out of fear-based and moving into love-based. So, yeah, the choice is yours, I'm hearing, Cancer. Really beautiful. That was a kind of a, oh yeah, Okay, 3 of Cups underneath that. All right, 2 threes. All right, 3 of Cups and the 2, 3, 4 is what I'm hearing and seeing. That is taking the right steps. Maybe you've been seeing 2:34 on the clock, or 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock, but that is taking the right steps, leading you in the right direction of what? 3 of Cups, celebration, your soul tribe, and the 7 of Cups of all these abundant opportunities for you. Okay, Spirit needed me to add a little bit more to that because they had a little bit more to say. But what I love this quote. This is my favorite T formation, one of them. The difference between a weed and a flower is a judgment. That's all. So as we are learning to integrate the High Priestess, the dark shadow pillar, the light white pillar, that is integrating your light and your shadow, what you had to go through, what you're breaking chains from, what you're walking away from, you can see it as a weed, something that is just unnecessary for the garden, that grows and chokes out the plants that you do want. Or you can see it as a flower, as something that is of beauty in its own purpose. It served its own beautiful purpose some way, somehow. That is gorgeous as well. And I always hear this, and I always have to go back to the analogy of a dandelion versus a rose. The dandelion root is considered a weed here in the Western culture. So what is done? What do you see when you see dandelions on a like a business campus? People are spraying it with chemicals to make the yellow dandelions go away because they grow so rapidly. It's considered a weed. However, for herbalists out here, we recognize the medicinal properties of the dandelion. We recognize that the dandelion seed, the dandelion stem, the dandelion root, the dandelion flower, all of it has very, very beautiful, amazing superpowers for our human vessel to function. It helps our urinary tract, it helps our intestines, it helps our skin. However, the judgment has been, it's a weed, therefore we should kill it with these pesticides. Just a thought, food for thought. And then I love a beautiful rose, right? Who doesn't love the delicate rose? But the delicate rose petal comes from a vine of thorns that can choke you out, that can rip your skin. That if you are not careful, this beautiful flower of a rose could really be detrimental to your safety. Yet, the judgment of the rose sees it as a romantic gesture. And this is not to say a rose is bad because the dandelion's good now. It's to integrate all of it. Yes, the dandelion might grow rapidly, but it's got beautiful medicinal properties. Yes, the rose might choke you out, but it's still got a beautiful, delicate, velvety, deliciousness about it. So, take it as it resonates, take it as you see it, and decide how you want to judge your life and what's happened and all the tings and all the tings and all the tings. So, let's carry on. We're moving on to, because we are in the 54th minute for Leo. I might speed read for you, Leo. No offense. I'm just kidding. But for real. Sometimes some of the signs get a little more love, and that's just how it is. But I love you so much, and we got the star coming out for you, Leo. So that's some Aquarius energy. So you might have Aquarius in your chart. But this is about a wish. This month of March, Leo, you have this wish that wants to come through. I see the Lovers peeking through. I see the Fool that wants to jump. And then this one flipped over. So let's see who it is. It is the Eight of Swords. Okay. So the month of March, Leo, Divine Feminine, you might be feeling like you are stuck where you're at. But what you don't see is that you have this beautiful wish that is ready to be fulfilled. All you have to do is align with it and choose it. Look at the eclipse energy for tonight. Choose what you want to eclipse out, so you can then choose what you want to eclipse in. Last night, my son and I did our favorite full moon release ritual. We always do. And then we had the eclipse energy. So we did a fun eclipse. We did the same thing for the Aquarius eclipse that we had a couple weeks ago. And what we did was we did a two-part. And the first part was, what is it that I want to eclipse out of my life? Wrote a list of the things we want to eclipse out. And then we wrote, what are the things that I want to eclipse in? And we wrote a list. And the things that we wanted to eclipse out, we folded up, and then we burned it so it could transmute into the ethers. And then because this is the Virgo full moon and it's an earth sign, Mama Earth, we planted the parts, the things that we want to eclipse in. And that goes back to that Seven of Pentacles. I'm seeing my mind's eye. Is it here? No, that was that's the Knight of Swords. But going back to, I think it was Gemini with that Seven of Pentacles, you don't have to force what it is that you are wishing for, because it's already in the ethers, ready to manifest with you. You just have to align with it. You have to choose that you want to eclipse it in. That's what this Knight of Swords is saying. I choose you. You see how they're both pointing towards this Crone of Swords, the final decision maker. Because justice is on your side. You do not need to be afraid, because this is all you see, she's blindfolded, so she doesn't see what's around her, but she thinks, because mentally, that's what the swords are. Mentally, she feels stuck. So Leo, Divine Feminine, you might be feeling mentally stuck right now in the month of March, but it's only because we are in this retrograde season. It's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's just time to pause, and you might be feeling stuck, but really all of the things are your external circumstances. But what's blocking you is what you believe in your mind. All you got to do is choose, because you have justice on your side. The scales are balancing out for you. And Divine is with you to help you find clarity, to help you with making this decision. I'm even hearing divine intervention. You don't see any of this coming. You don't see any of this right now, because you're so in your mind, so in your head. But the truth, the sun will reveal the truth. Okay? Don't make me start singing Annie up in here. That'll come out tomorrow. Okay, I'm done. All right, I hope that helps, Divine Feminine. Let's move on to Divine Masculine, Leo. Sun, Moon, or Rising. I know that those kind of wanted to pull through. I almost took them. We have the Three of Wands at the bottom in reverse. So again, maybe you're feeling like a path is closed off that you want to go. But you have the Eight of Wands here as the strongest energy, and then the Eight of Swords for the Divine Feminine. So 8-8. I'm hearing Lion's Gate. That might be your birthday. Shout outs to my bestie, my college bestie. Her birthday is 8-8 Lion's Gate. Okay. But also maybe the 8-8 Lion's Gate, that 8-8 portal activated something within you, divine masculine and divine and Leo general. But maybe from now until the next August 8th, there's going to be something shifting, because what you don't see, the action that you are being asked that you're going to be taking this month is going to lead you to your 9 of Cups, a inner fulfillment. And what that's going to do is take you to exactly to the next step, to the 10th, ending cycles. You are going to be taking action this month, Leo, divine masculine, of fulfilling your cups. And that will lead you, that will break the cycles of what I'm hearing is codependency or dependency. Maybe Leo, divine masculine, you have been dependent more on external things or external sources, and maybe that's this month you are going to be taking more action towards grounding in your own internal fulfillment to complete this cycle, to complete the cycles of toxic attachment is what I'm hearing, or insecure attachment, addictive attachment, and codependency, so that you can build. Look at these two still want to come through. They want to stay together, the Emperor and the High Priestess. So we have some ancient divine feminine, ancient wisdom here, integrating all of your lessons in life and turning it into wisdom so that you can use that to build your empire. And also, this is a beautiful counter partnership if that is what you are calling in. That's what you don't see. You have to, I'm hearing, fill your cups up first. Break the cycles of dependency, codependency, and come into interdependency of them both being whole individuals together. Okay? Very beautiful. 7 of Pentacles is here at the bottom of the deck. Okay? While you're waiting patiently, God is working, clearing all your path open for you to succeed in what it is that you are fulfilling, what you're doing, what you're desiring, what you're wishing, all of it. You are coming into recognition. This could be public recognition, but victory nonetheless, success nonetheless, and emotional maturity with the King of Cups. And then, interestingly enough, we have the Fool in reverse showing up. So I'm hearing what this means, because you have the King of Pentacles, a lot of masculine energy coming through, Hermit underneath that. So masculine, divine masculine Leo, this Fool in reverse is like, I'm hearing that you are not letting yourself be fooled by, I'm hearing anymore. Not letting yourself be fooled by these false expectations appearing real, these false evidences appearing real, these false agreements appearing real, these false truths about what love should look like. You're not letting yourself be fooled anymore about how you're supposed to show up in this world. You're saying, you know what? I am going to do what works for me and ground that in here for me, no matter what people say. And that's a very powerful place to be. And I mean, that is fixed energy. Leo is a fixed fire. Aquarius with the Star card for Divine Feminine is the fixed air. So maybe you have some in your chart. Spirit is saying the 2 of Crystals We're going to see what Spirit has to say, and then we're going to tap out tonight, y'all. Thank you for being here. Leo Collective, Two of Pentacles, crystals. Okay? There is a balance, a harmony, a juggling that is coming to, that Spirit wants you to embody. And what you're not going to see is serenity. You're not going to see that it's actually that serenity that is going to bring you balance and harmony. That's what's going to help you. Because your heart is being activated with the King of Crystals. Your heart is being activated so you can ground. It's being activated to stabilize, to ground, to tap into your infinite potential and abundance. And I'm hearing, follow what your heart is leading you. Follow where your heart is leading you, because this King of Crystals is looking over at the Eight of Wands. Follow where your heart wants to take action. And stabilize and ground and know that you have more than enough. You are more than enough. And as long as you surrender, ask for the serenity to accept the things that you cannot change, but have that courage to change what you can. Page of Crystals. To trust in that seed that has been planted in you, perhaps even since you were a child. And to Four of Crystals, hold closely what you value, is what I'm hearing with that. And to shift your perspective from fear to love is what I'm hearing. Because you have the Queen of Swords. This is all at the bottom of the deck. The discernment with your head and your heart. I'm hearing the longest journey that we'll ever take is the journey from our head to our heart. And that's what's happening right now. You are learning, the Queen of Swords and the King of Pentacles or crystals. You are learning how to trust to merge, to integrate, to be able to work together. I'm hearing cooperate with your mind and your heart to stabilize, so you're not so emotionally taken over that you can't ground and stabilize. But you're learning how to balance it all. And Divine Ace of Wands underneath that is helping clear the way, helping clear the energy, helping clear the energy. And I love when I see the Ace of Wands. That to me is an indication, the Ace of Wands came through before, but it's an indication to light your Palo Santo, your sage, your incense, to clear the energy, to take a Epsom salt bath or pour some salt in a cup when you're in a shower and just pour that over your head to cleanse and clear and protect this energy, this new path that is being opened up, this energy of the star of your wish fulfillment, for it to be protected, for it to be a internal fulfillment, for you to fulfill your cups, for you to feel full, for you to feel full. Thank you. For you to feel full is your birthright, Leo, is what I'm hearing. So that is really beautiful. You got the train in the background for confirmation. And we are in the 69th minute of this Tea+Tarot soul session for the All Signs reading for the month of March for Gemini, Cancer, and Leo. If you're just tuning in, I'm going to timestamp and put them in the comments so you can always go back and listen. If you are a Pisces, Aries, or Taurus, I did that reading last week, which was beautiful. And then next week, we're going to go into the next three, which is Virgo, what is after? Leo, Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio. Virgo, Libra, Scorpio is next week. So stay tuned. Make sure you are subscribed to my Vibe Tribe. Hit that notification bell if you'd like to be a part so we can continue to heal the heart of the Divine Masculine and the Sacred Feminine through conscious love. So, Leo, your final T formation for the night is be fearless, know that all will be provided at the right time. That's why you're being asked to practice serenity this month from Spirit, to accept the things that you cannot change and to change the things you can, because all will be provided at the right time. You are safe, you are secure, you are nurtured, you are comforted, you are protected, you are provided for, you are significant, and you are satisfied. So may that be with you, and may any of these messages be with you if they resonate. If they do, hit that like button. If they don't, that's okay too. Take what does resonate with you and leave the rest for someone else. Otherwise, I will see you in the next moon. Thank you all so much. Have a beautiful 3/3 portal and a full moon eclipse in Virgo tonight. Until next time, peace and love. Namaste. Bye.